I am here, your mother. My boy, I am so glad to write you again. It seems so long since I wrote to you. I love you so much and feel that I must tell you. Go to the Universalist Church, as Helen told you. It is the best one now in existence because it believes more in God's love without having to worship Jesus. As you say, the Christian Scientists are good people, but their position on spiritualism is all wrong, and Mrs. Eddy now sees her error and wishes that she could undo it. She is in the same sphere with me, but she does not enjoy so much of God's love as I do. And I talk to her sometimes, and she tells me that she is very sorry that she made the mistake of teaching that spirits could not communicate with mortals. She is a very bright spirit, but does not know all that she thought she knew when on earth. She may, I do not know, but I will ask her. Yes, I will pray for you, my dear boy, with all my heart. So good night, your mother, Anne R. Padgett. I am here, your grandmother. You must not be so despondent. Pray to God, and he will bless you. Try not to let things of the material kind keep you from loving God. You are not doing right by thinking so much of the troubles of earth life. Trust in God. He will take care of you, and you will not be left alone to worry over those things which will soon pass by. Give more of your thoughts to God and believe more in his love and care, and he will help you more than you can comprehend. Yes, even as to them. He is not so weak that his love cannot help you in those things. Be true to him and yourself, and you will not want for anything that is for your good. I know, from my experience in life has proved to me that I am speaking the truth. Yes, I am with Nita very often. She is a good girl and has much of God's love in her heart. She is trying to learn the true way to his love, and she will become a very spiritual woman as she grows older. Yes, I will, and she will love you too, for you seem to her now as both father and mother. Yes, you will, for I will try to help you to the fullest of my power. Only believe, and she will stay at school and come home to you in the summer and feel that you have been her true and loving father, as you are. You must believe that we communicate with you, and when you do so without doubt, and then I do not think that you should go. You must believe that we communicate with you, and when you do so without doubt, and then I do not think that you should go to the seances. They are generally of such a mixed condition that you are not helped by what you come in contact with. Yes, I would advise you to go there. While they are not what I consider spiritual people, yet the spirits who attend their meetings are of a very good kind and will benefit you in the matter of your belief. Yes, I do, and your wife and guide, White Eagle, and your father will be able to talk to you soon. Bright Star will be a great help. She is a very spiritual person and loves God, as I know, but she is not yet entirely in the blessings of his full love, but she is trying to obtain it very hard. Yes, she is, though many Indians are very spiritual. White Eagle is a very spiritual man and lives in the fourth plane. He is a strong spirit and seems to think a great deal of you. He will protect you in all emergencies, and you can rely on him. He has never been the guide of anyone before and has not tried to learn English, as he says. But he will soon learn, as he is now making the effort. Only you must not let him write to you too often, for he is not of the writing band. Yes, it would. He is a powerful guide in certain ways, but he is not one who can help so much in spiritual matters. While he is good himself, yet he cannot instruct you in those things that you need to learn at this time. They, side note, possible reference to Albert Riddle and Joseph Salyards, are not so spiritual, but their knowledge of certain other things in the spiritual world will be beneficial to you. You must not confide your investigations to purely spiritual things, for while they are the things absolutely necessary, yet there are other things that you should learn, and we formed our band of such persons as we thought would serve the purpose that we had in view. I doubt that he can cause the truth to grow, but you can try him. I don't know just what power he has with reference to physical things. I believe that he can help your eyesight and liver, so let him try to do what he says. He is honest in his belief, and he may succeed. Good night, my own dear boy, your loving grandmother, Anne Rollins. December 8th, 1914. I am here, Helen. Let me tell you that you are only making yourself unhappy, trying to learn all about the way that I write to you, for you cannot do it, as you are not able to see my method, and I cannot fully explain it to you. But I will try to do as best I can. When you take hold of the pencil, I exercise all my power to move the pencil so that I will write just what I think. But in order to do that, I have to let my thoughts go through your brain. You do not do the thinking, but merely let the thoughts pass through your brain, and the movement of the pencil is caused by the exercise of your brain in conjunction with the power which I exercise in the pencil. So you see, you do not originate the thought, but merely convey it to the hand, which I guide in accordance with my thought. You do not have anything more to do with what is written than an electric wire has to do with transmitting a message from the party at the end where the message is given. Let me explain another way. When I think a thought, I pass it through your brain to your hand, and my power to move your hand is brought into action, just as when you think a thought, your power to move your hand is brought into action. My thoughts are not your thoughts. And when I think, your mind catches the thought, but does not create the same. So you must believe that I am doing the writing and not you, for I write some thoughts which you could not write if you tried. How do you like that for assurance? But to be serious, you could not write the things that I write without giving much thought to the different subject matters, for some of them are not familiar to you, as you have often said. Let go the idea that you are writing things which emanate from what is sometimes called your subconscious mind, for you have no subconscious mind, and the philosophers who reach such an idea are not acquainted with the laws of the mind. The mind is only the spiritual evidence of thoughts that congregate in the brain, but which really are not part of the material thing which the wise men call the subconscious self or mind. There is no such thing, and when they let their explanations of things which they cannot account for rest on the assertion that the subconscious mind furnishes these thoughts, they are all wrong. Only the material brain furnishes thoughts which it puts forth from the observation of the senses, or from the faculties which are brought into action when the reason is made the basis of the thoughts. I'm not a very good expounder of these things, but I tried to make it as plain as I could. Yes, I am telling you this from my own observation and understanding of these things. When you receive communications from Mr. Riddle, he will be able to explain more fully and more satisfactorily the laws which govern these things, and you must soon let him write. I am studying the laws of physical and psychical sciences so that I may be able to assist you in your investigations when you come to search for the true relationship between spirits and mortals, and the laws which control these communications. Yes, my studies include the investigation of the laws governing clairvoyance and inspirational communications. You will have the opportunity sometime to have an experience in each of these phases, and I want to be in condition to assist you to a degree that will help you in arriving at conclusions which will be correct, and which will help others to understand the laws that govern these things. So you see, your wife loves you so much that she is willing to attempt to learn these things which are thought to be only for the masculine minds, in order to help you more clearly understand them. But while I will do this, I will not cease to try to learn to the fullest those things which will give me a clearer understanding of the spiritual truths that lead closer to God and His love. These are absolutely necessary. The others are important, but not necessary in order that a soul may sooner or later reach the knowledge that makes it one with the Father. The love of God, which passes all understanding, is the one great thing to learn of and possess. My home is now so very beautiful that my happiness is more than I can tell you of. You will be also happy when you come over, for I am filling my home with such beautiful thoughts and so much love that when you come, you will wonder how your little wife could possibly have accumulated so much beauty and filled the house with so much love. Yes, as I receive more of God's love into my soul, my home becomes the more beautiful. Only I do not have to be in the home to be able to have this love with me. It is with me all the time. And when I am in my home, the home becomes a reflection of that love. The home is not beautiful if the love is not there. So you see, the home depends upon the existence of the love for its beauty. My soul is the creator of my home, and without the soul being beautiful, the home could not be beautiful. When I leave my home to come to you, the home remains the same, because while my soul is with me, and also the love that makes it beautiful, yet the home retains the reflection, or as you might say, the atmosphere of that love to such a degree that the beauty of the home is not lessened or deteriorated by my temporary absence. So you see, the home has a permanency, although it depends upon the soul to give it its beauty and loveliness. My home is not yet perfect, but as I grow in God's love, then more perfection will come to it. The more love that I have, the more beautiful the home. We are all dependent upon the degree of love in our souls for the appearance of our homes. Let your endeavor be to get all of this love that you possibly can. And if you succeed in getting as much as I have, you will be one with me and our home will be together. If you do not, I will have to wait until you do before we can live as one together. So do try to get all of God's love that you can. If you will only give your thoughts to the spiritual things and let your soul be open to the inflowing of this love by praying with all your soul longings, you can progress just as rapidly as I do. So love enough and want to be with me enough to try with all your heart to get this love. Your own true wife, Helen. December 9th, 1914. One message. I am here, Helen. I am so very happy as you are loving me very much tonight, for I can see that your thoughts are with me so much more than of late. So let me continue to feel that love, that you love me so much. When I realized that the time had come for me to go, I did not fear to do so, but calmly waited and thought that all my sufferings would soon end. And when my spirit left the body, I commenced to feel as if I was rising out of it, and that I was going upward to the place that I had so often heard my father speak about. But I had scarcely awakened to the fact that my spirit had left the body before your mother had me in her arms and was trying to tell me that I had nothing to fear or caused me to feel that I was not with those that loved me. She was so beautiful that I hardly realized that it was she. And when I commenced to see that I was no longer my body, I asked her not to leave me, but to take me with her to where she lived. She told me that I could not go there, but that God had prepared a place for me to go, and that she would accompany me and show me the truth of my future existence. I went with her, and she took me to a place that was very beautiful and filled with spirits who had recently passed over. She did not leave me for a long time, and when she did, your father came to me and said, I am Ned's father, and I want to help you to realize that you are now in the spirit world and must not let the thoughts of earth keep you from getting in a condition to learn that all of us are only waiting for the love of God to help us to higher and better things. Your grandmother soon came to me and told me who she was, and she was so beautiful and bright that I scarcely could look at her, for her face was all aglow with what seemed to me to be a heavenly light, and her voice was so sweet and musical that I thought she must be one of God's angels that I had read about in the Bible. She told me of the things that God had prepared for me, and that He wanted me to love Him and feel that He loved me. But after a while, I commenced to think that I must be deceived in my sight and hearing, and was still on earth, and needed only my body again to know that I was still immortal. Some time elapsed before I really became conscious that I was a spirit and was not on earth, for when I tried to talk to you as I did, you would not listen to me, and turned away from me as if you did not see or hear me. After a short time, your mother and father came to me again, and tried to persuade me that I was not to continue in my belief that I was still of the earth, but must believe that I was in the spirit life and needed only the things of the spirit to make me more contented. So you see, I was so very fortunate in having your dear parents and grandmother welcome me when I passed over. If they had not received me, I do not know to what condition of fear and distraction I might have been subjected. No spirit can learn the truth of the change unless in some way helped by others. So you see, when you come over, I will be there to receive you and love you so much that you will never have to go through the period of doubt that I did. Your father is also waiting to receive you, and in fact, all your spirit band have agreed that when you come, you will have nothing to fear for want of help and love. I first saw my parents. Helen's mother passed in 1905. Her father died January 1913. I first saw my parents after I commenced to believe that I was in the spirit world, and when I saw them, they did not know me, but thought that I was still in the body and that they were still on earth, as they had not yet awakened to the fact that they were in the spirit world. They were very unhappy, and it took considerable talking to make them believe that they were spirits and not mortals. My father was more easily convinced than was my mother, for he commenced sooner to recall that when death comes, the spirit must go to God, who gave it. My mother would not believe so soon, for she continued to think that she was with her acquaintances on earth, and that they were not treating her very courteously, for when she spoke to them, they would not answer. But thank God, they both now realize that they are in the spirit world, and they must learn to love God if they would be happy. When I commenced to leave the body, there was no pain or suffering, only a feeling that I was rising out of it. No darkness appeared to me, and I saw my body lying there as if it were asleep. I did not try to hold it, but thought that it was merely taking a rest, and that as soon as it felt refreshed, I would enter it again and continue to live as before. I did not wait for it to awaken, but continued to arise until, as I told you, your mother clasped me in her arms. She was my own dear mother as well as yours. I did not know that I was dying, but felt that something unusual was happening, and I was not afraid, as I always in life dreaded death, as you know. The strange thing to me was that I did not look upon death as dying. It was only a pleasant, dreamy feeling, and I only thought that I was going to become absent from my body until it was refreshed. My thoughts were not of death at all. I had been suffering pain, but I thought that I was getting well, and the feeling of relief that came over me was the result of my getting better. As my spirit arose, I thought only of my condition and how soon I would be able to return home and see my friends. No other thoughts came to me, not even my love of God, or the fact that I was not in condition as regards my soul to meet my Maker, as I had been taught. There was absolutely no fear of what might happen to me, or that I would soon be called upon to account for the sins I had committed. Just before my spirit left my body, I was unconscious, but just as soon as the separation commenced, I became fully conscious and knew everything that took place, and did not feel at all as if I were in danger or needed the help of anyone. I did not stay with my body at all when I commenced to leave it, but continued to rise, as I have told you, until your mother met me. So you see, death, which I so much feared, was not such a dreadful thing to experience. Yes, when my son came to where my body lay, I returned to it, and saw it taken away and afterwards buried. But I still did not understand what it all meant, and only when your grandmother told me I would no more inhabit it did I commence to realize I had left it forever. But even then, I had some feeling that she was mistaken, and that in some way I would return to it again and continue to live on earth. Yes, when I had been in the spirit world a short time, I saw other spirit forms, and even then I was not in a condition of mind to fully understand that they were spirits and not mortals. The resemblance is very real to one who has never had the spiritual eyes opened. And even though the spirit forms all appear much more beautiful and bright, yet to me they all seem to be human forms, and I thought that I was not in condition to fully see just what they were. You must let me stop now, for I am tired. Your own true and loving Helen.